Thank you for choosing to watch the Watchman News Headlines video. Our full episodes can now be seen over at Patreon with much more added content for just $2 a month. Link is in the description. If you cannot afford $2 a month, please consider using our Amazon affiliate link, purchasing from our Teespring store, or making a PayPal donation. All links are below. In order for us to grow, we have to make changes to enable it. Our time is valuable, and we have been one of the very few news sources actually dedicated to bringing you honest, hard-hitting, actionable news and information. Plus, for your $2 a month, you do not have to hear me blabber about these links. It's a win for us all.
Bullshit.
Thank you. Good morning, watchmen and watchwomen of YouTube, and welcome to the headlines. Before we get started, I want to welcome our fourth patron. Yeah, you heard that right. Our fourth patron. This is awesome. I actually didn't think we were going to grow this fast, and this is awesome. I invite you to come join the family over there. You missed some really good stuff tonight. You missed a really good show about, it was titled America, Land of the Silenced, and I talked about not just the United States, but the world as a whole, and the silencing that is going on, not just with the media, but with individuals and just the whole gambit. So, really good show tonight. We also watched a video of, well, I'm not going to say who, but we watched a video that talked about why, the large reason why nothing is being done about any of this, whether it's the silencing, whether it's the stripping away of our constitutional rights. Really good video. And at the end, they got to see me in my professional dancing role. So that's something that's exclusive to Patreon. You only see it in Patreon, my professional dancing. And that was just right before we switched over here to what I like to call the dark side. So anyway, let's see. I don't know if I've got anything else to really say before we get going here on the headlines, other than I would love to see you over there on the light side, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into some headlines. We've got plenty of those once again today. Starting out from this morning. I don't have anything from last night to tell you. McKinsey consulting firm to shell out $573 million to settle probes into its role in turbocharging the opioid crisis, says reports. Greta Thunberg shares India protest toolkit, gets accused of rent-a-cause activism, or Activision if you like gaming, and aiding international conspiracy. Big Oil books one of the worst games on games. Where the hell did that come from? Big Oil books one of the worst years on record. Not a game. Jewish banker forced to withdraw candidacy for Dutch Muslim political party that couldn't stomach her X-rated cakes. I don't know if I would call that X. Maybe R-ish. I don't even know if I would go R there on these. PG-13. Let's do PG-13 cake. UK launches first ever trial to test safety of mixing Pfizer and AstraZeneca vaccine or COVID jabs. Same thing, vaccines. Let's see. Sale of state-owned firms could make India a $5 trillion economy. South Korean PM vows to revamp COVID-19 social distancing rules to address public discontent. Naples Mafia orders ambulances, I'll get it right, not to use sirens as they are bad for business. Yeah. So the Mafia in Naples, right? They're attacking ambulance crews because their sirens are interrupting drug deals and scaring off the customers, scaring off the business. Not funny, but it's absurd funny. You know what I mean? Russian news outlets rally around journalist Smirnov, jailed for 25 days over retweet that included the date of an upcoming protest. And one of the articles we spoke about. Economy could reopen gradually in March, says UK vaccine minister, but only if COVID-19 cases keep falling. American Airlines may send 13,000 workers on unpaid leave as COVID-19 decimates travel demand. Going in for a kill, Redditors going after targets they perceive to have stolen their money in 2008, says Max Kaiser. Progressive journalist Jordan Sheridan regrets calling for social media bans after seeing Silicon Valley's censorship onslaught. See how that works? I'm telling you, you give them that power and they will use it on you. So remember that in your little partisan bickering back and forth and wanting to take away from the other guy. Because when the other guy gets in charge, guess who's going to get taken away from? You. So stop giving power. Stop giving power just because your person is in charge at the time. Because your person's not always going to be in charge. UK regulator Ofcom revokes broadcast license of China's CGTN. No dramatic change to Northern Ireland protocol following EU-UK vaccine dispute, says the Irish foreign minister. Wow, I'm just butchering these tonight. Not a real Chechen. Ramzan Kadyrov denounces compatriot who fought Moscow riot police at protest in viral video. Now see, you've got people coming out and speaking against people that are doing things that I would associate with liberty, right? With trying to remain a free people, okay? You got people speaking out about it or against it, and we have the same thing here. Non-stop. In fact, pun intended, left and right. We have the same thing happen here. You've got the right wanting to do this to the left. You've got the left wanting to do it to the right. And just like I said a while ago, if you beg for the other's rights to be taken away, guess who else is going to get them taken away? You. So knock it off. Swedish preschool ordered to purge suspected Islamist extremists from its board or face closure. Top Navalny ally Sobol charged with breaching Russian COVID-19 rules over alleged role in organizing opposition rallies. Now, you think hard about this headline because I think we're going to see stuff like this happen in the United States of America. A 0% chance they will not be having sex. Skepticism after Tokyo Games COVID-19 playbook bans physical contact for athletes. No getting jiggy with it there at the Olympics. GameStop frenzy was the most fun I've ever had trading, an entrepreneur tells Boom Bust. Woman suspected of killing 19-year-old Harry Dunn worked for U.S. intelligence agency, a court told as Biden rules out extradition to the U.K. Can't do nothing for Assange, though, can we? Belgium slaps Iranian diplomat with 20-year jail term over foiled bomb plot in landmark ruling. Cactus if you can. I love that. Woman who tried to smuggle 1,000 cacti and succulents in her stockings is sentenced to New Zealand. Yeah, trying to smuggle the old cacti, I see. Twitter and Facebook could be blocked in Russia over content calling for unauthorized protest and says proposals from country's Senate. I don't think I said that right. I am become meme, destroyer of shorts. Musk fires off market-wrecking omens and random thoughts, ending his brief Twitter absence. And then one word tweet from Elon Musk launches crypto Dogecoin into the stratosphere. Scientists suspect Martian surface may be riddled with giant sinkholes caused by widespread underground ice. Do you really want me to sing Ice Ice Baby? Because I don't. Put all the chicken in the bag. All of it. Put it in the bag. Restaurant customer turned away for not wearing a mask returns with a gun. All right. And demanded his chicken. And then took the money. Thousands of human trafficking survivors detained in the UK Home Office. Hostile and neglectful system, says a report. I'm telling you, And this is why I'm saying we need to knock it off with the, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, because you're not doing crap until you go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is the government and certain religious organizations and certain other agencies within the government or work under the government's umbrella, like CPS, for example. Nothing is going to change. You can rehabilitate as many as you want. But, wouldn't it be better to stop the need for rehabilitation? So let's stop playing the games. Let's stop playing the games. Let's go after the root. Let's do something useful. Not saying that rehabilitation of victims is not useful. It absolutely is. But I think it's equally and more important to stop the need for rehabilitation. So let's quit playing games. China ready to respond to all threats and provocations at any time as U.S. warship crosses Taiwan Strait. There's a bug going around. Cyber attacks and malware have spread like virus during COVID-19 pandemic, says a Russian expert. China bat caves need exploring for COVID-19 clues, says the WHO, adding that virus circulation may predate identification in Wuhan. Tokyo Olympics chief Yoshiro Mori in sexism row after saying that women talk too much. Well, I'm moving on. Jeremy Corbyn's brother Pierce arrested over leaflet comparing the UK COVID-19 vaccine rollout to Holocaust. By the way, you can send all your hate mail to Gangsta Giggles. UK government to change law to allow pregnant ministers to take maternity leave. And I tell you that because I'm going to be dead later anyway, so. Let's see, Russian court once again insists transgender women can keep printing jobs she was fired from after legal gender change. CBD supports the immune system. Austrian clinic reports promising results from cannabis trial on COVID-19 ICU patients. Cancer drugs in 200 or 300 consignments, I got that right, from Welsh supplier thrown out due to post-Brexit border delays, says UK MP. Let him die. Doctor gets flamed over evil and twisted tweet about maskless shoppers in Florida. As New York Times claims the U.S. is sanctioned out, senators propose measures against Russians deemed complicit in repression. But nothing for the U.S. senators. ICC convicts former Ugandan warlord of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Kremlin says women who claim... Let me restart that. Kremlin says woman who claims police threatened her with a taser and put her head in a plastic bag to get a phone pin should sue the cops. I think a lot more than that needs to happen. I think a whole hell of a lot more than that needs to happen. But again, we'll feed into stuff like that even here in the United States, right? Because we got to back it. We got to back it. Right? You're not a patriot unless you back it. Absolute nonsense. BBC returns fire after China accuses state-owned News Corp of fake news and ideological bias. Tehran slams Iranian diplomat's 20-year jail term for bomb plot as violation of international law. Ukraine appeals to Belarus for emergency electricity as Lithuania admits it still imports energy from embargoed nuclear reactor. CNN chief Zucker announces plan to leave at year's end after a change of heart decision to see out the contract. Let's see. FBI agents raid the home of Lake St. Louis man seen inside the Capitol building. There's going to be another headline because the charges were actually announced. There wasn't charges announced when this article was released. Divine intervention or the right connections, Roman Catholic Church received $3 billion in U.S. taxpayer-funded COVID-19 aid. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. By the way, isn't this the same church? And let's take another second here, because I get so sick and tired of the book of Romans getting thrown in people's face. Are we that foolish? Are we that foolish? Don't ever throw the book of Romans in my face. That's why I'm supposed to kiss the ass and kiss the boots of government. Especially when it comes to the truth about the book of Romans. How come we don't have the book of Enoch? How come that was tossed to the side? But we've got the book of Romans? How about the book of Yasher? That was kicked out too. But we've got the book of Romans. You know? You ever had that game in kindergarten where you had to pick the thing that just didn't fit? Take another look at the Bible. Tell me what book just doesn't fit. Ding, 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 ding. Fund them and lose in slow motion. Twitter reads into CIA veterans' advice to use Iraqi-Afghan playbook on domestic extremists. There's significant risk of mass utility disconnection soon, but these Americans may feel it most. I actually earlier shared out an article, and I apologize if anybody clicked the link on that, because it just took you to an app it wanted you to download. I've got a One Weather app on my phone, and an article, it wasn't this particular article, but it was an article that was talking about this. And so I shared it out from my phone. I didn't realize that it was you had to have the app in order to read the article. And so I went and I found, once I realized that, I went and I found an article that was talking about the same deal. And Market Watch had an article on it. But this, more importantly, this is why it's important to be prepared. Okay, it's not just about some major SHTF, right? It's not about some big EMP or solar flare. You know, this stuff happens too, and it's why it's important, heavily important, to be prepared. In fact, I'm going to be doing a Patreon video this weekend on preparedness, on food storage, and talking about some food that we had just gotten today, as a matter of fact. And I've got it on the table sitting behind me. And I'm going to be doing a video on food storage and hopefully encouraging people to go out and get some food storage, right? And this is the perfect reason why. It doesn't have to be something big and major, right? If it's something long-lasting in your local area, guess what? That's big and major. Even though it's not nationwide big and major, still going to be big and major to you. Sterile, fun-free Tokyo Olympic Games are starting to look distinctively unlike a victory over COVID. Thousands take to the streets as nationwide strike over pay and working conditions kicks off in France. As fake as her tweets, police open conspiracy probe into Greta Thunberg's protest toolkit, accuse the creators of war on India. UN Security Council deeply concerned at Myanmar military coup calls for release of leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Biden ending U.S. support for Saudi-led offensive in Yemen. That's one of those things, I'll believe it when I see it. China readies Asia's largest reflector antenna to receive data from its first Mars mission. Moscow officials deny conditions at post-protest detention centers are overcrowded as journalists live blogs time behind bars. Putin's approval ratings drop slightly to 64%, while Navalny overtakes Communist Party leader in new opinion poll. Now that's a poll I might believe. Biden ending U.S. support for offensive operations in Yemen doesn't mean actual end to war. Skeptics caution as activists rejoice. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't bank on it. I would not bank on it. A lot of times they just move things around a different way. But they still, in the end, wind up supporting the same old things, which is largely terror. Biden ends U.S. backing for Saudi-led coalition in Yemen, but America will continue to help Riyadh against Iranian-supplied forces. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm saying. Europe still wary of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine as Dutch scientific advisors recommend limiting jab to under 65s. Lake St. Louis man charged in Capitol riot. That was when they actually brought out the charges, which are largely the same as the charges that have been put on many others. House tells Trump he'll prove his own guilt by not testifying at impeachment trial, but Trump still refuses. Trump resigns from Screen Actors Guild after Hollywood union threatened to expel him for inciting attack on U.S. Capitol. Church of England launches investigation after clergyman calls fans of World War II hero Captain Tom a cult of white British nationalism. Voting software firm Smartmatic files $2.7 billion suit against Fox, Giuliani, and Sidney Powell over election fraud claims. Mostly false ? Snopes fact checks cyberbullies claiming that AOC exaggerated danger she faced during the Capitol Hill riot. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Dangerous precedent. House strips QAnon Congresswoman Green of committee posts. Let's see. Florida man steals car with $10,000 worth of anti-COVID jabs, triggering a nationwide alert. Johnson & Johnson asks U.S. regulators to okay its one-shot COVID-19 vaccine. Wisconsin governor reimposes COVID-19 mask mandate after Republican-led legislature votes to repeal it. I mean, is this representation or is this authoritarianism? Dictatorships? Which is it? Anti-gun activist David Hogue takes aim at Trump ally Mike Lindell and plans to start pillow company to compete with MyPillow. Well, all I can say, first, I'll believe it when I see it, and secondly, maybe you could run a less corrupt business. Because I remember the lawsuits. Let's see. Germany discloses names of Dutch SS veterans still receiving pensions for serving Hitler in World War II. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's actually and I'm just going to call them what they are, hit squads that actually go hunt out these old Hitler Nazi SS people. And things that make you go, makes you wonder. I'm kind of interested where this leads. Interested in a whole lot about this situation, actually. Yellen cheers, I'll try that again. Yellen cheers resilient. Markets call for timely study into GameStop craze as Wall Street crushes the Reddit rebellion. I know I butchered that headline. So anyway, I am out of here. This is our Friday. So you will see headlines again on either Sunday night, Monday morning. And with that, I hope everybody has a great weekend. And as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And Shabbat Shalom.